and he's doing over 6 figures in both in purchases from us and in sales. So I asked Jason to come and talk a little bit about staying persistent and fighting through the beginning and getting to a moderate amount of success.
Hello, I'm Jason Bradley, and I'm from Delaware, Eastern Shore, Maryland, and yes, we do have farming in Delaware, so for those that just think it's just a big government insight in beaches, we do have agriculture. But yeah, no, Seth had asked me to come up here and talk about a little bit about how I started out and got to the level that I am today. And I tell you, having these guest speakers, it's been a wonderful meeting. I mean, I've gotten so much from these past few days, and I'm sure that you guys have too. But really, for sales, for me, Tony's good at the cold calling. I'm not so much, and Dave will attest to that. But it really started inner. You got to start inside and know where you are on the playing field. You know, my thing was having to get over some personal obstacles of that fear of going out, that fear of doing this. And then once you start building that up and start building your confidence after getting a small sale here, a small sale there, it becomes easier, and you're more willing to go out and talk to different people. One of the ways that I gather leads, and Diego had talked a little about this, or Eric, one of them, was the seminar, or the show and the seminar method. So one thing that I like to do is to gather contact information using a trade show. We have a trade show at our state fairgrounds that is a joint effort between Maryland and Delaware, the universities, that they put on. And then once I get that information, I'll set up a luncheon or a dinner, whereas our dealership will pay for everything. We invite them out. We invite them to bring their spouse, a farmer friend, however it may be. And then once we give a presentation, Dave Snyder will usually give a presentation. I do a follow-up call about a week later, and then that's when we really start to talk about business. Really, just doing that has just been a motivation for me in itself. You know, of course, the money, this is a great great opportunity to make money. But one of the other things too is that I wanted to compete better against products that they were already using. You know, I would show up to a farm and here comes a CPS guy, but you know what? Like, that CPS guy knows I'm there too, you know, and that was a great feeling to say, well, you know, in somewhat competition, well, I beat him there, but the farmer, this so-and-so farmer is now going to buy his biologicals from me. He may get the rest of his fertilizer from CPS, but hey, Ag Concepts is in the game here now, you know, and that's a great, like, you know, that's a great motivator to say, okay, well, let's build this brand, let's build this presence. And really, once you get that motivation going, get that ball rolling, you just kind of continue to spiral, like how they described earlier. You spiral upwards, and that's been a great strategy for us. So
it sounds like for Jason, competition breeds excellence. He likes to shove it in his CPS guy's face.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Jason, by doing it that way, and you get a few leads, and then you have your dinners, have you made any sales off of referrals from those people? Have they been giving you names so that you expand your base?
Yeah, no, absolutely. One of the things I like to do is I try to host a lunch or a dinner in a part of the county or an area. We cover the Delmarva Peninsula, so it's we have a pretty broad area, but if I don't have a presence in a certain area and say that I was able to sell to a customer in that area, I will flat out ask them, you know what, I'm trying to make a better presence in this area. Do you have a farmer friend that you're willing to give me a name to that I'd like to go see them? And usually they're pretty responsive to that. They will do that. One other thing too is that if something, just words of advice, and you know, these guys that host these seminars too, or luncheons, don't be discouraged with the amount of people that may attend. We've had luncheons and dinners where we may have 25 show up. I've had some where we've had 12 show up. I've had some we've had 3 show up, 7, even 0 show up. Yeah, so You know, case in point, last year we had a dinner luncheon where a dinner meeting where we had dinner and Dave gave his presentation, and we picked a restaurant that I thought was going to work out perfectly, and it turns out that the back room they said they had was not a back room, so there was noise and kids running, and we were next to the bathroom and it stunk, and it was just one of those nights that I just said, oh dear goodness, I said, I just hope it goes well. But we had, I think, 4 or 5 people show up, and only 2 farms show up. 2, so 3 from one and 2 from the other. And I just said, you know what? I hope that we get through to them. I hope that I'll get a potential sale out of this. And it turns out that one of them became my biggest customer this year, just from that one meeting and then the follow up. So, it turns out that even though if it doesn't go the way you expected, work with what you got, because you never know what will happen. So.
Because why, Gary? Everything counts.
Everything counts.
Any other questions for Jason?
When is Dad going to get a cut of this increase?
We'll have to talk about that.
All right, next up is Brad. And I don't know if I had a chance to talk to Brad, but he alluded to it yesterday.